I'm just gonna start over. We were like a minute in, but we had the pants thing. Yeah, fuck the pants thing, dude. But I'm just saying, I think it's inherently a video card problem because my motherboard has Windows 8. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, Windows 8 drivers. It cannot go to Windows 10 video drivers. So I'm thinking if I get, like, it won't let me update it. I don't know why. It keeps saying there's something, my motherboard's not compatible with it or some garbage. Yeah? Yeah. Well, that's what they said. They said August of last year, which I obviously was a long time ago. They were saying OBS used to do that because of drivers crashing. So I'm thinking when they updated to OBS, it's now more reliant on video drivers. And because I can't upgrade mine, there's a problem. But it's so aggravating. When your computer dies, it should say, hey, this is what happened. You know, like, why has no one invented that? Like, on startup, it should be like, oh, crap, there was a problem. Like, even Firefox does that garbage. Why doesn't, you know, Firefox tells you what happened. Why can't freaking... I can change them immediately. Why? Oh, you mean my different templates and stuff? No. Nothing like that. Let me see, No, it's not Elgato, because it did it when we were recording the clan meeting too. It's definitely, like, OBS is the common factor. My computer only crashes when OBS is open. But I'm thinking that's because of the intensity that OBS puts on my drivers. But I'm not positive, you know? That might be something to look into. Well, I like my custom overlays. I want all of that, yeah. 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 What would you say a bad temperature is, Shazy, for cores to get to? Because I'm circling 60 right now. Mm-hmm. That's in Celsius, by the way, obviously, but... Okay. Yeah, it says... 100, yeah, that's what I was thinking. What do you mean? Oh, dude, and Elgato, thank you, Zesia. Elgato always resets, or freaking OBS always resets my settings when that happens. So, like, they couldn't hear you there for the initial couple of seconds. All right, you guys ready?
I can't see you, though. I can't even see your stream. I'm still on the live stream offline screen.
Just refresh it.
Let me see if I refresh.
It's so irritating, dude.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Okay. Jesus, mother chicken of goodness gracious. You guys ready to start this? We're just gonna start over. So
just start off with a spoiler alert before I get into my speech.
Oh, that's a good idea. So
because I'm gonna go straight into it.
Oh, but before you start, it says I just looked it up really quick. It said anything under 80 degrees should be good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. There's no way I'm hitting that. I'm thinking it's just a video card thing. I think once I get my video card later.
Yeah.
I think that'll solve everything because that'll take pressure off my RAM and CPU, that'll add additional fans, and that'll make it so my drivers can be compatible with Windows 10. So all three of the potential problems, as long as it's not OBS just being dumb with a bug in the software, that solves all three of them. So I'm thinking that's just the best way to go. But okay, we'll go ahead and start this. Hey guys, Scare9 here. Welcome back to my channel today for the Last Word Podcast, episode 31. Joined as always by my co-host JZ Basketball and Iconoclast.
I'm still not wearing pants.
Me either.
You know, if they weren't here for the original stream, they're gonna not know what that is.
That makes it even better, right? Yep.
All right, so just real quickly, guys, this is going to be a spoiler alert. If you don't want to know anything about Destiny 2 going into it, probably don't watch this episode. As much as that hurts me to say it, my best interest is your guys' enjoyment of Destiny 2. So if you don't want to know about the European Dead Zone and patrols and all that stuff, if you don't want to know about new exotics and you don't want to know about certain, let's just say, remnants of Destiny 1 that may or may not be returning, probably don't watch this episode or listen to this episode. But that's your spoiler warning. I'm going to let Iconoclast... I don't know why I always say your full name on this, but I do. I'm going to let you go into the how you were feeling this week and what you were most excited for. And I kind of likes all this information the most, so I'm going to let him lead all this for right now.
Okay. Well, you know, back when this game was first announced and when we got the poster, picture, and everything else, my hype was, you know, at max level. All right. After the DRE happened, I was not feeling as hyped, okay? I wasn't, like, hating the game. I wasn't, like, down on Destiny 2, but I just noticed that my hype was going down because there were things that were revealed in the DRE that I didn't necessarily agree with, and I've talked about that in previous episodes, so I won't get into that. And in the months since then, you know, what was it, like August now, the DRE, or yeah, August now. When was the DRE, like June? So it's been a couple months.
It was May 19th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was the 18th or 19th.
Okay, so I've had 3 months now to kind of like, you know, continue that kind of sour feeling. Not sour, not negative, but it wasn't necessarily like beaming with positivity either. And I've been kind of waiting for this like big boom of hype to hit me, you know, leading into Destiny 2, and I didn't really have it. And then this week happened. The one thing that I've been saying since day one is if you're going to go at the DRE and you're going to talk about Patrol, if you're going to make these grand statements that like Patrol is going to be the next big thing and it's going to be this huge change to the game, I want to see it. I want to see exactly what you're talking about. Just don't tell me, show me. And it didn't happen. That was one of the things that kind of soured me on it. And here we are now that we've seen it, and it's 50 billion times bigger than I ever thought it could be. It's so much better than what I thought it was going to be. This Patrol in this game, in the European Dead Zone, is a game within a game. Like, the way I'm looking at this is, you know, when you guys are doing your you know, Crucible, your trials, or whatever you guys are going to be doing, you know, in PvP and everything, when you guys are messing around with that, I'm going to be in Patrol, you know, getting tokens, getting my subclasses back. I'm going to be, you know, doing adventures, finding lost sectors. Like, it looks like a game within a game. Like, seriously, like, we're going to have, like, this story element, you know, doing the story missions. You're going to have the raid, strikes, everything else. But then on top of that, you're going to have this super robust Patrol that is just insane. I don't know if you want to go down the list, Scare, of everything that like is in Patrol, but like
yes, I plan to. Yeah,
I watched the 90-minute version. I don't know if you guys are watching all those videos that were on YouTube.
No.
But I watched the 90-minute version of this guy just playing through Patrol, and there's too much to talk about. Like, we could be sitting here till, you know, midnight tonight, and we would still not get through it all. And that's exactly what I was waiting for. I wanted that. So if they had shown, not everything, but if they had at least shown half of what they showed this week at the DRE, my hype would have been where it is now all these past, you know, 3 months.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, I am beyond hyped right now. My hype level, I don't even think you can quantify it at this point.
So just to give people an idea of what's coming to Destiny 1, so we got a little bit more context with adventures and lost sectors. So it seems like with lost sectors, they're going to have varying difficulties, varying types of rewards. Some of them are going to be really easy to find. Some of them are really hard to find. We saw like one guy go through a lost sector in a couple of minutes, just an easy one and stuff. And oh no, it's looking pretty good. Same thing with adventures. The one adventure they showed was probably about 15 minutes long. It was a decent sized adventure. They had them running all over the European Dead Zone, doing like destroying Cabal installations and stuff. It was pretty cool. So many enemy types. There were the Taken, the Fallen, the Cabal, all within what I saw. I could be missing. Yeah, there's no Vex and there's no Hive. So there's all sorts of enemies.
That Taken, though, really surprised me. That was really cool, seeing the Taken, you know, coming in, especially since there is a whole thing about you have to expel the Taken. So they're actually using the Taken in, like, missions and stuff. They're not just there for eye candy. They're actually part of the story, too, which I was really surprised by that.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I mean, there's just so much. There's the one thing that I am most excited about, and I think Jay-Z's really going to like this too, because it'll really quantify the amount of time that he puts into patrol. Every patrol area is going to have its own reputation and faction system. So the European Dead Zone will have a reputation system that you level up by turning in these reputation tokens, the European Dead Zone tokens, which you just find laying around by completing things in random chests. By doing lost sectors, you get like 3 of them. By doing an adventure, you get a lot. Nightfalls, you get some if it's on that planet. That sort of thing. And then also by the planetary material, which for the European Dead Zone, I believe it's called Dusk Shard. That if you can turn that into Devrim K, and it levels up your faction. And that's, I think you can only get them whenever you reach level 20, which is the max level in Destiny 2, and it gives you maximum level rewards. When one guy leveled up, it gave him 2 legendaries and 2 shaders, which that's another thing we should talk about in a bit. Shaders are not cumulative. It's not, you don't get one shader and it goes through all of them. You have to earn the shader over and over and over again for each piece of armor and ship and ghost you put it on, which it doesn't look like they're going to be too difficult to get, because I've seen 2 shaders drop, and both times it gave them 2 of those. So we can talk about that in a bit. But Jay-Z, so going into it, not really have seen, you haven't seen anything about Timer Io's patrol areas yet or anything like that, or Nessus. Which area do you think is going to have your highest reputation for patrol going out of Destiny 2 when it's all said and done?
It's definitely going to be European Dead Zone. Just off speculation, because I always like coming to stuff that's familiar. I spent a lot more time on Earth than I did any other patrol zone in Destiny 1, so I don't see that changing, but it'll be cool to, especially Europa, I think will be really cool to explore. But like if they do the same thing that they did in Destiny 1 and they make the Earth one like 3 times the size of all the other ones, it's just gonna have more stuff.
Yeah.
And more things to do. So speaking of the shaders, I saw one guy, he got 5 shaders out of one of those.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, out of one of the videos. Like, because I just kept it on YouTube Play last night while I was doing other stuff, and it just kept cycling through all the, you know, it recommends the next video and that's similar, so it just kept showing patrol videos, and yeah, the one guy got 5, but I think it seems like to me it's a make your own, so it's like it's a true open world thing. You kind of make your own adventure as you go along, and I really enjoy that. You're not forced down a path, and you can choose what you want to do, which Destiny 1 Patrol was kind of that way, but you were so limited in things. And then like it looks like you can spawn public events, and there's special things to do to make the heroic public events, which
versions,
look really awesome. And it's just like it's like one, you just destroy these boxes or the generators or whatever they were, and it spawns the heroic public event, which you get better loot and stuff like that. So it's gonna be cool figuring out all the, because I don't know if I want to watch any spoilers on how to spawn all the heroic events.
I don't think so. I specifically tried to avoid those, and actually I believe that was the first one, because every time I saw a public event like a Spider Walker, I just skipped past it to see what like the loot was, because I want to see the rewards and stuff. That's not too spoilery for me. Yeah. Like I can see the rewards of a raid. I don't really care. It's the experience of the raid itself that I don't want to miss.
Yeah, exactly. So. And I want to be able to, you know, our fire team to figure that out as a fire team, not like, oh, I saw this happen on a video, so now I know how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying that much attention, but he said there's certain things. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to be shooting around the screen, and, you know, most of it won't be doing anything, but, you know, it's trying to find that heroic or how to get that heroic event to spawn. So
yeah,
that's going to be fun, you know, and hopefully it doesn't get, because I think it just adds a lot of challenge to that. So I think even after we've done it for the 100th time, it'll still be fun because it'll be a challenging event. Hopefully. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. And I like how the reputations aren't necessarily tied to the planet, but they're tied to a person on that planet. So, whatever that, I don't remember what the guy's name was, but
Devrim K.
Yeah, the reputation was tied to him, from what I saw.
It was really weird. So I do have one kind of minor complaint with that, and I saw a lot of people like complimenting that he was more animated and stuff. But it was, you know, like when CGI is really close, but it's just off enough where it lacks that human factor where it looks really creepy. Like, I was getting that vibe from him. Like, sitting in that environment screen, or the inventory screen, rather, it was weird, because I know they're obviously not trying to emulate, like, a real human being. Like, the CGI is not that good. It's, like, very obviously supposed to be an animated character. But I got a really creepy vibe, man.
It's his eyes. It's his eyes. He has very lifeless eyes.
I don't think he was blinking or anything,
I guess the parts I disagree with is because when you walk up on him, he's like he has a sniper rifle out looking over to, you know, to protect the area, so you don't really see him until he turns and looks at you. So I thought that part was kind of very human-like.
Yeah, really well done. I like how his No Land Beyond is really customized too. It's got like the deer decal and stuff. That's pretty cool.
That was really cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that. I'm really interested to see, like, you know, we have failsafe on Nessus, but who the heck's gonna be, you know, Io and Io and Titan, you know?
Titan, sorry, not Phobos, yeah.
Phobos. Maybe eventually, man. That'd be a cool playable location, but...
DLC.
You know, and you know what? So it was really weird. I was thinking about this today, about the patrols, and the patrols in Destiny 1. You know, I think a lot of what they learned with the Taken King, with the Dreadnought, is what they're using with this. And you know, even when they made the New Earth, you know, patrol zone in Rise of Iron, I think they went back to what they were doing before. So it was like it was almost already, the area was already made, and they didn't want to make a bunch of changes. But
yeah,
I think what they did with the Dreadnought, with all the secrets and all the different paths and all the different things you could do, is kind of the template that they started with a lot of these patrols. Just with secrets and stuff like that. I mean, obviously they added a ton more stuff than what was even on the Dreadnought, but they kind of took a step backwards, in my opinion, when they went to the Rise of Iron.
Right. Yeah, I think that was all a time constraint thing, because if you look at it, the thing that's cool with the Dreadnought is there's not a lot of locations. Like, if you play all the Taken King story missions, you don't experience the entire Dreadnought patrol area. Yeah. But with every other area in the game, you very much do. Like, if you do just the original vanilla Destiny, you've pretty much seen the entirety of the Cosmodrome. And so I think that I don't think Destiny 2 is going to do that, because especially with like the Lost Sectors and the adventures, and you know, a lot of the adventures are like story missions in themselves. There was one I saw them go into like a Cabal ship, and they had to shut down like the artillery guns and stuff. Like, really, really intricate stuff for never having to leave the patrol area. It's very, like, there's so much story. Like, I honestly, like, I was thinking about it, Jay-Z. That first night when we get it, and with Josh, or, you know, if we end up, like, taking turns with other people or stuff, like, I honestly don't know when I'm going to stop playing. And I know that's terrible for my health.
I wanted to knock out the campaign and then that's when I went to bed.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long that's going to be. So
yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, looking at the patrol area, I don't think I just want to rush through the campaign. I think whenever I unlock the patrols, I'm going to want to take some time, do some adventures, do some other stuff, you know? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, like, I'm down with that. I just kind of want to get through the story so we could start, like,
really farming for the light. Yeah. I feel that.
My goal is to have the campaign done by the 7th.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
it takes me all night.
Like, I just with it dropping at 12 o'clock, man, I just don't know when I'm gonna stop playing. I don't know if there's a very real possibility I'm gonna be playing it for like 20 hours in a row. Like, don't tell Victoria, because she'll kill me.
No,
but
I've already told my wife that I'm planning on. So like, it starts at midnight. I plan on doing a full 12 hours without a break. I'll take a break at lunch. Get some lunch, you know, stretch my legs out and everything. But then I plan on doing another 12 hours. I'm going again till midnight. I'm gonna have like an hour break for food, and then I'm gonna go right back at it. So
that's why I don't really plan on streaming any of that, because then I don't have to like hold my composure. Like, if I need to stretch out my legs, I can like stand up or take off my pants or something. You know, like I can't imagine having to stream that. That would suck. And that means you can't make any videos and stuff. Like, if I need to take a 30-minute break and rush through a video, like, I can do it in any weird fashion I need to, as long as the end product is good. So, I can do whatever. But if you're streaming, like, you need to, every second, you need to be focused on giving that product. And it's so weird. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a no shower Wednesday for me. So
see, that's the thing.
Shower,
which never happened. Like, I always take a shower. Like, I can't stand but it might not happen. I don't
shower. Know. This guy showers.
I'll make sure all my everything like that's done. But once I'm in my room with Destiny fully downloaded, I don't know what's going on from there. That's we'll see how long I can mentally go kind of thing. Also, if you pre-order from GameStop, this is not confirmed. I called my manager at my GameStop, and they said there's a very, very likely possibility that the release will be at 9 o'clock your time zone instead of 12 to give you time to get the game, go home, and download it before the servers turn on. So that's something to call your GameStop about and inquire about. That was like my only reservation about getting a physical copy, and if I can still get it in time and get it downloaded, I'll be not mad at all. So that's pretty cool. And that means that we can all be ready to go like right then at launch, so man, I'm getting nervous. It's hard to believe that this thing that we've been waiting so long for, and we've been talking about the entire summer, like less than 2 weeks away, guys. I don't know if you realize this. Our next show is the last word of Destiny 1. And that's something else I wanted to touch on. I don't know if there will be a last word that first Friday. We will all be racing to try to get light level ready and stuff for raids and just knee deep in content. So I'm not sure if there will be an episode. There might be, might not be. We'll see. We'll just do whatever happens, We'll find out. We'll let you know next week. Probably a little bit more accurate if there's going to be or not.
We could always do one while we play if we do some patrol or something.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, back to the patrol stuff. So we have all of that stuff, the reputation for each one. I'm probably with Jay-Z. I think my European Dead Zone is probably going to be the highest. But honestly, if I just looking at all this stuff, the Lost Sectors do look like they're replayable, by the way. And then just there's so much stuff to do. Then you have the challenges on top of this, something that no one has talked about yet. Like regarding like Bungie or outlets or anything. Whenever the guy pulled out his ghost, there was a specific challenge tab where it was like kill 75 Cabal, loot 3 Cabal caches, which are just like the random chests laying around. Complete a Lost Sector during or near Cabal base and all that stuff. So that's really interesting as well. There's additional challenges. We don't know what they're gonna reward. We already talked about pretty much everything else though. There's gonna be a lot of patrol content, which is so exciting.
I do. Did you hear the one I watched? The guy, he beat a pretty hefty Cabal captain, and the guy was huge. And the ghost goes after he was done. It was like dialogue specific to that. He's like, well, that guy looked really tough. And it was just kind of like a sarcastic thing that he said, but I thought it was really cool because I'm like, yeah, all right, they're doing specific for like these random bosses that spawn, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, jeez, I know I didn't hear that one, but that is really cool. That means they're putting so much effort into this stuff. It's crazy. And it's exciting because it lets them focus on content. Like in the previous reveal events, it's always like, all right, we're here for a new DLC. Here's all the strikes you can do, and that's what they show the content creators, and that's what gets spoiled and stuff. But now, like by taking the load off of that with more content, you can be like, all right, here's a couple more missions in the patrol areas. Here's one strike. Like we've seen one strike in Destiny 2. I imagine there will be equivalent to as many strikes as we have in the entirety of Destiny 1 right now in Destiny 2. But we've only seen one of them, which is super exciting in itself, so.
So I have a question actually, based on what I kind of started the show off with, Scarrow. Do you think that because, he said that, they released the reveal content and then, he was wanting to see this. Do you think that they should have revealed the patrol sooner, or do you think that was a good time for them to release the patrol information?
So from a fan standpoint, I would have liked to have seen some as well. From a business standpoint, this is genius. It's definitely like the main selling point of their game, and waiting for people to be like really like hungry for more information like that and releasing something amazing like this perfect. Like, it
Yeah.
was very well executed. Whoever's in the marketing department that decided that, like, they need a raise or something. Like, that's the kind of thing, like, as I'm watching this stuff, I kind of know how I'm being played psychologically. You know, like, I can be like, oh, good move, Bungie. Like, I can appreciate a good move like that. And definitely, like, I think this was best case scenario to get me the most excited for this stuff, releasing it 2 weeks into the game, before the game. Because now, if they would have said this at the DRE, I don't know if I would have gone straight into Patrol after... you know, between story missions and stuff. But because they waited so long and they hyped it up, now I'm like, all right, I need to get into Patrol. You know, so I respect that.
I completely agree with you. Well, like, you can't drop everything at once, especially when it's a hugely hyped game like Destiny is.
Yeah.
You've got to roll out. Like, they showed multiplayer and they showed how much better it is, and they showed you know, the first mission and like how much better the story was, and then you get hyped about, wow, this is actually going to have a story, and the multiplayer is going to be more competitive and all this stuff. So then you're like thinking of that, and then they slowly drop in some Patrol stuff and then some other exotics. Like, they've only shown a handful of exotics, but they're dropping, you know, a few of them here and there just to kind of tease you of what the exotics are going to look like and stuff. I
mean,
like
we've seen 5 exotics.
Yeah.
So far, new exotics.
Yeah, not the ones that weren't. Yeah, the 3 that were in the.
Which that's actually our next topic. So that's actually a good segue if we're if you guys want to head into that, or if you want to finish what you're saying or whatever. I don't know how much you had left. Okay, so yeah, exotics. So we got to see one brand new exotic armor. No, yeah, one more exotic armor piece, one brand new exotic weapon. So the weapon is called the Graviton Lance. I did a whole video on it yesterday, and I'm thinking this is going to be my go-to exotic. It's a medium fire rate pulse rifle, it looks like. Jay-Z and Icano, they already know how I feel about this. How do you guys feel about this weapon? Do you think it looks really cool? Do you like the exotic perks? Do you guys need me to tell you what it does? Are you aware?
No, I saw it.
Okay.
So, I'll play the role of the audience. Tell me what it does.
Okay, so the Graviton Lance, like I said, it is a void pulse rifle. It goes in your elemental primary slot. It has 2 exotic perks. The first one is that the third round in every burst does every... Excuse me. The third round in every burst does bonus damage. So every round you're going to have 1 bullet do bonus damage. And it was really significant. I think I saw the guy shooting a servitor in a critical spot, and he was doing 8s. So the first 2 were 8s, and then it was like 56 was the third one, I think it was. Like, it was very significant bonus damage. And then...
Did it say massive or bonus?
Just bonus damage.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I think the exact words were like the third bullet of every burst is more powerful or something like that. But it was, like I said, in that gameplay, he was hitting 8s and then he hit like 50s. So it was pretty strong. Now keep in mind that is with like a 1.25 modifier of a critical hit, whatever it is in Destiny 2. But still, that's a very big separation. And then also when you kill people with that weapon, they blow up and it turns into like a supernova, and it does a lot of damage to surrounding enemies as well, which is really cool. And just me being like a pulse rifle guy, I'm definitely gonna like this a lot. It looks like it'll be super useful in Crucible and pretty much everything. So I'm excited for it, to say the least. So there you go. Icona.
Cool. I mean, is it going to be my favorite? Probably not. I still like the Sunshot. I'm a hand cannon guy, so
yeah,
I'll probably be rocking that Sunshot as soon as I get it. But yeah, I mean that does sound pretty sweet. What about the I can't remember the name. Is it Cold Heart? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Cold Heart, the trace rifle.
Yeah, is that a legendary or is that an exotic?
No, that's an exotic.
All right, well that's unfortunate because I was hoping that was only a legendary. Because actually, wait a minute, because that's that's going to be competing with the Sunshot anyways.
Yeah, all 3 of them will be actually.
Oh yeah. So we really haven't seen too many exotic power weapons, have we?
We have seen exactly 0 exotic power weapons, actually.
I mean, the what's it called? The Dubious Volley.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Dubious Volley. There's that shotgun as well that we don't have a name on. It just looks super powerful. But other than that, oh yeah, and the claw grenade launcher thing. that thing, that's going to be a power, I bet. But other than that, yeah, you're right, man.
So, do you want me to go now, or are you done, Icano?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, when I first saw the perks on that weapon, and I'm like, this is going to be my new PvE main, because pulse rifles have always been my favorite. Scout rifles I use a lot in PvE just for the fact that I haven't found a pulse rifle that I really like for raid type scenarios. The Red Death was decent for a while, but and it's still decent in certain situations, but it just wasn't accurate enough at distance for me to work well in end-game PvE activities. So
yeah.
Once I saw the perks on this, I'm like, this is the one for PvE.
Yeah.
And especially, like, I couldn't tell because they showed a clip of it hitting that Cabal Major, or not Cabal Major, Vex.
Minotaur, yeah.
Minotaur, and it sent like a nova, like literally it looked like a star exploding out, and I don't know if that was the power core of the Vex or if that was actually the weapon.
I think if you pay attention, it was Minotaurs have a void shield, and that does blow up. So I think it amplified it a little bit, but
that thing flew like
it was far
range.
Remember, they did announce that if you're using the element on your weapon shield that you're shooting, it'll explode if you match the element.
Yes, that's what I was saying. But according to
that
people,
kind of explosion.
Yeah, it'll be exactly like that type of explosion. I think it'll be larger though, because I think it was PC Gamer Magazine did like an article on it, and they said that it doesn't explode on the enemy; it goes past the enemy and explodes into a supernova. So, that was it. That I'm 100% certain that is the Graviton lance.
Yeah, because when I saw that, I was like, wow, that I loved, because that's going to be a PvE monster if that's if it goes that big every single time. Like I was super pumped when I saw that. And I'm
thinking that'll be super good, and especially with it doing bonus damage on that third round in PvP. Because I'm the type of person, my third round is always a critical hit.
Mine too.
Yeah, so that, I mean, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a really, really, really good gun all the way around, man. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, it looks awesome.
So yeah, there's that. And then just more returning exotics. The weird one, when I saw this, I kind of had to take like a triple take. We're getting the Hardlight back in Void form.
Yeah.
They're picking the weirdest exotics to bring back, like.
I don't know if that's because I think they're taking exotics that weren't used that much and bringing, like, hopefully upgrading them to where you want to use them is my guess. Because barely, like, you got to think Destiny 1, there's like 5 exotics that we use for PvE and like a handful of them that we use for PvP, and then all the other ones never got touched. At least for me. I don't know if you would just randomly use them, but like for the most part,
I think I used Hardlight like twice in a private Crucible match, like.
Yeah, and it was like it was very tough to use. Like you had to use, and I didn't want to use it enough to where I was decent with it, to where I could have gotten better with other things. So it looked like when they were using it in the gameplay that it was pretty good. Like it didn't have range on it. Obviously, it's an auto rifle, but all the bullets were bouncing. I couldn't tell if it was doing extra damage or not on the bounce, but
that's it. That's what I was hypothesizing that, and then I saw one time he was shooting into a building, and all of the bouncing things, like he was moving around, they all seem to be hitting the same spot. So maybe there's some kind of like auto aim on the bounces now.
Oh, that would make sense. Like you hit one bullet with it, and then all the rest you
kind of track there, maybe, but that could get bad because if you bounce some bullets past an enemy, then all the bullets are just going to miss the enemy. So I'm not really sure. There also seem to be some explosions whenever, like, the final one, like, it bounced twice, and then the final time it hit a wall, there's a tiny explosion, so there might be some explosive damage. Who knows? It could return as, like, the same thing, and we're just looking too far into the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, but you think they're going to want, like, just with all the other exotics that they showed, you would think that they would do something a little bit different, or bring, give it something unique compared to the first game.
Yeah, I feel that. So I guess we'll see. It's just weird. So I guess I would rather than bring back weird ones like this than like the Gallhorn or the Icebreaker or any of the fan favorites. Like we've seen. I did my video on the top 5 that I want to come back, and a lot of them were kind of exotics that kind of fell out of popularity. But I'm fine for taking these weird ones. I mean, if you think about it, the Taikonaut that no one uses. The Starfire Protocol, which hasn't really been heavily used in a long time.
The feedback fences.
The feedback fences, that's the next one we were going to talk about. You could also see the feedback fences in some of these gameplay, which I have never seen anyone use seriously ever. Like, people wear them to get like max light, but no one's like, oh, people are gonna punch me. I need to be wearing my
go-to to solo the Crota
Abyss. Yep.
Oh, okay. There you go.
The same thing.
Whenever I soloed that with my Titan, I always put those on because the thralls would hit you and it would blow them all up.
But to be fair, that's the only encounter in the game that made the "Don't touch me's" worthwhile too. So
yeah,
maybe those will come back. I'm hoping every one of those has a new exotic perk too. I can't imagine they would bring them back. Like, if they weren't popular the first time, why would you bring them back the exact same way?
I don't know if they were taking the guy's shader, but they didn't even look the same. They had like a blue color.
A blue outline,
the
yes.
original had orange. So it might have been a shader, but a theory of mine is that the new color equals new everything.
I'm thinking it was just a shader because you can get, if you wear Glowhoo with them now, you can get them to do that. So I'm thinking it was just a shader, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong for sure.
So do we want to hypothesize what they could add to them? Say they keep the same perk, and if nobody knows what the feedback fences did, they caused a like a wave around you if you got a melee attack to damage opponents around you. So whether it be PvE opponents or PvP opponents. My thought was maybe they add like a knockback feature, like it does a pulse wave that damages and pushes people away from you if they melee attack you. I hope
it does something different. Like, I guess it should still kind of be okay. Maybe give you like an extra melee charge as well.
Yeah.
With the Sentinel Titan, maybe. Well, okay. Let's see if those were going to affect any subclass. Actually, those don't seem like they would be subclass specific, do they? So like,
no.
So I don't know. That's a tough one, you know.
Because you can't make them overpowered, but you also. They need to have an improvement over what they were in Destiny 1 because in my opinion they were a little too weak.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe just add like an additional melee charge, and when you get hit, or if you get hit, it turns it into a melee charge. That would be pretty cool. So like you steal your opponent's melee charge.
So would it still do damage when they hit you, and then you get a melee charge?
Maybe it does like the equivalent of one melee, and you get to steal their charge. Like if someone uses life steal on you, it doesn't activate on you if you're wearing them. They take damage, and if you don't have a melee charge, you would take that. So
I like that. So it's a rock paper scissors on melee players.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
I have a lore theory.
A lore theory?
Go for it.
Yeah, okay. I have a lore theory of how this will work. I know we're not there yet, but we're going to talk about the Titan King subclasses coming back.
Yeah.
And when you're running around patrol, you get like things that are called like remnants of the Night Stalker or remnants of the Sunbreaker or whatever. Because the lore is going to be that is it the Traveler himself or maybe just the Shard? But basically, you're finding stuff in the European Dead Zone that has remnants of the power that you used to have.
Yeah, so just like void power still left in it and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm thinking is, I mean, this is purely a hypothesis. I'm not. Is how else would it make sense that our exotics are out in the wild? It wouldn't. But what if when the tower was blown up? What if all of our stuff was scattered? And what if these are exotics that you find while you're patrolling? And what if they're like different because they've been tampered with by the Fallen? So like maybe we'll have Siva infused versions of these exotics or things like that. I don't know. I was just hypothesizing because lore-wise, it literally makes no sense. The whole point of losing our exotics in the first place, or all of our gear in the first place, was that the tower was blown up and we lost our vaults. So how does it make sense lore-wise to give us anything? So I was trying to think of how it would work in the lore that, that this stuff is still around. And the only thing I could think of is that it all just ended up out in the open when the vault was blown up.
So I think my personal thing is I think a lot of these are going to come from the prestigious engrams that we found. A lot of this stuff is prestigious gear. It's old. It's memories. they're very much of the past kind of thing. So I'm thinking how it'll work is you complete certain activities, like a quest or a mission or something, and then you go to a person that was part of the tower, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I managed to scavenge this from the tower." Maybe like the gunsmith or something. I don't think it's super important for every single one to make exact sense in the lore. If you look at the hard light, I don't get the impression that only one hard light exists. It just seems to be like a default, really powerful Amalon. Like it's like the Amalon Ferrari. You know, there's not one Ferrari Enzo in the world. There's like 500 of them. So you know, like it's top of the line. There's a limited number, but there's not only one. Now, if like we just randomly found Thorn again, like just floating around on Titan, that wouldn't make sense. But for these ones, like there's not really any exotics that we've seen that are coming back that really send up a red flag. Like, oh, that destroys continuity, you know? So
I think the funny thing that they could do, that's not related to the lore, but they could be like, since so many Guardians trash these, you know, the Cabal didn't destroy the trash dumpsters that were in the bottom of the tower. So
that would be pretty funny.
Piece them all back together.
or the Cabal found our gear and they were like, God, these exotics suck, and they just threw them out in the wild. and it's all the exotics that we never use.
Yeah.
Even the Cabal ate them. Oh, that's great. I like that.
That would be pretty funny. Oh man. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I would rather them use the trash one. So just as like some community feedback here, there's a couple of community feedbacks in the chat. So I'm just gonna go through, say the weapon that they're suggesting comes back, and you guys tell me yes or no. Sound good?
Yeah.
Twilight Garrison.
No.
No.
I'm gonna say no because they gave that perk to the Warlock skill tree, and I feel like if you mix that, wouldn't go back very well. No and beyond. Oh, sorry.
Didn't they give it to an exotic on the Warlock as well?
No, the only exotic Warlock thing that we know of so far is Angel of Light.
It has the hovering. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. I was thinking.
No,
that.
You're good. No and beyond.
Isn't that what Devrim is using?
Yes, but
so
are we gonna use it?
Well, I mean, why not? If he's got it, why can't we have it?
So does that mean that you think the Ace of Spades is coming back?
Just because Kate has it?
Yep.
I see your point. No, then no. I mean, honestly, see, I want to say no to all because my heart is telling me that we don't want any of our D1, weapons back. We want new stuff. So my heart is immediately telling me no. Say no. But,
hey, dude, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. Like, also, a lot of these that they're bringing up in chat are more of the popular exotics. Like, naturally, like, if you're going to ask for an exotic to come back, I don't think anyone's going to be like, give me...
Boolean Gemini.
Yeah, Dragon's Breath or Boolean Gemini back, They're all going to be like, Thorn, last word,
Gallahorn.
That's
the big one. I mean,
see, I think that's the one. I think Gallahorn will come back eventually. I'm very, very set in that Gallahorn will come back eventually, but it won't be good.
What do you mean? Well, you mean like they'll nerf it to the
ground. Or they'll just give you it at like 3 light, and it's like a trophy piece.
Oh.
I think Gallahorn is too big of an icon to not come back eventually.
I can see that. I don't think they'll bring the No Land Beyond back because they don't want primary snipers.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Same thing with
no reason unless they make it a heavy. But then no, I mean, why would you pick that over any other normal sniper unless they add some really cool perk to it? That's worthwhile.
Ooh, that is a really good call. How is that going to work? Because
same thing with Universal, man. None of that garbage.
Yeah, they're not going to have primary shotguns and snipers. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Like that would go against what they're trying to create.
All right, so the same kind of thing, Icebreaker. And I'm going to say no Icebreaker, no Invective, because that destroys heavy ammo economy, power ammo economy. So...
Yeah. By the way, can I just interject real quick?
Yeah.
Did you notice the amount of power ammo that was dropping?
A lot, man.
In that 90-minute video I was watching, there was a point where this guy, he was doing an adventure, and then during his adventure, he had to walk through a public event. So there was a ton of enemies, right?
Yeah.
And he's killing all these enemies, and by the time he was done with the public event and he had finished his adventure, he had to go off to the other side of the map. and all over the ground, there's probably 50 purple blocks on the ground. I'm like, wow. Because like all of the yellows that were dropping were you know, giving them to him, and then he was even getting them from like just regular kills too. So yeah, I'm loving the fact that every yellow you kill gives you a purple brick. It's almost too good. Like,
oh no! Next episode we're gonna be back. I was like, they need to nerf it. It's too much.
I don't know, man. It's almost too good. Like, I want to be able to use my sword. I want that,
yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to run around and only use my sword just because I know I'm always gonna have ammo for it. You know.
All right.
So I don't know. I am kind of in between on that.
And then just the last one for this, and this is the only one I actually personally see coming back, is the first curse. What do you guys think?
Why?
Why? Because it's a bad weapon. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's very underused. It's completely overshadowed. It's, you know, it's supposed to be the sister weapon to the last word. They set it up to have all this lore, and then it was just garbage. So I'm thinking they could bring it back. They could be like, here's the void. It's the Tex Mechanica, new exotic, and we actually made it pretty decent this time. So thinking that one's gonna come back, hopefully. But yeah, what do you think, JC? Yes or no?
First curse, unless they add like a really good perk to it, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I found it very counterintuitive where they were like, we're gonna make an exotic that focuses on being a hand cannon at a range and getting precision kills, and then like the next month they were like, nerf the hell out of hand cannon range. And then the next nerf after that, they did it again.
It was the extremely slowest rate of fire hand cannon too, so it was hard to get like multiple headshots and line them up and all that kind of stuff. So, I just don't see it. Like, unless they make it unless they change the archetype.
Yeah.
And you know, roll it around a little bit. It's gonna be tough for anybody to want to pick that, even if they, you know, keep it the same.
Yeah. All right, well, that's pretty much the exotic conversation. And the last thing, just to wrap up this episode, is that the Taken King subclasses have been confirmed to be returning. So, it's pretty exciting. I guess it's weird. So, I think the real discussion with this, there's no really discussing, like, do you think they're actually coming back? It's like 100% set in stone that they're coming back. So I kind of already know Arcano's opinion on this. I'll let everyone else hear it, but I'm interested first in hearing Jay-Z's opinion. Do you think Bungie meant to reveal it in this way? And for those of you who are not aware, the way that it was revealed is in some of this gameplay, there were people completing lost sectors, and they would get these relics where it was like a broken arrow, and it was like an arrow imbued with void energy. Inspect it to reclaim lost power or something like that. And there was one for the Bow Hunter for Night Stalker. There's one for Stormcaller Warlock, and there's one for Striker Titan. So it led me to believe that the new subclasses are going to come from the Shard of the Traveler, and then the Gunslinger, Striker, Voidwalker, as well as the 3 Taken King subclasses are going to be found in Patrol through these talismans, and then we have to do a quest line. But, Jay-Z, did you expect them to announce it like this? Or do you think they meant to? I guess it's better.
No, I think it was they wanted players to discover it when the game shipped. I don't think that they wanted it to be leaked before the game came out.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of speculation and a lot of, you know, we obviously knew that a 3rd subclass for each character was going to be present eventually. We just didn't know when. You and I both thought launch. You know, we called it launch, but yeah, I don't believe that they, because it was it even in the Destiny video, or was it at one of the?
It was. Yeah, I think it was in the PlayStation Access, if I'm not mistaken, the IGN, and I don't know where the Striker one came from. I just saw a picture of it on Reddit.
You mean the Hammer Titan, right?
No, it was Striker. It was an Arc one, and he was on a Titan.
Oh, they showed the Arc one, yeah, but we already knew Striker was going to be in. Yeah, but
but I'm just saying that's how you're going to get the other subclasses too, isn't it? Very similar way.
There's no way that they wanted that revealed, because they would have put it in their trailer. Because Bungie would rather reveal it than have it like slip up on somebody else's content, the footage. So yeah, I firmly believe they were either going to the day before, the week, you know, next week sometime, either reveal it then, or it was a surprise when you started going through the game, and I think that's what they wanted to keep. It was like, hey, you know, you do have 3 subclasses. We only showed you 2. Here's the 3rd one, and here's how it's revamped. You know,
yeah.
because obviously they're gonna make changes to it. It's not gonna be the same thing. So.
And that it makes me extremely excited as a hunter main. That'll probably be like that's something I'll be really pushing for that first night too. Is to try to get those lost sectors done and then try to do that quest line because I want to start powering up Night Stalker as quickly as possible. You know, so.
Yeah. And it'll be nice because we'll have one of each, so that'll work as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, so we can all 3 get our weird subclasses. I'll have you guys record all of that for me. And I could go back and make a video for all 3 of them. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much that. It's weird, man. So I know Icono doesn't think it's on purpose either. So what do you? Icono, how do you think this happened? Like, you can't tell me that Bungie just. I mean, you could actually. It's very plausible, but I just don't see Bungie overlooking it like that. You know? What do you think?
Well, here's what I think. I think they wanted to give everybody the patrol mode, to show people what it's like and everything, but they didn't turn off the loot table properly, or they didn't remove these things from the loot table. I think it's a simple mistake that it was Bob's job to take the Taken King classes out of the loot table for Destiny
God damn it, Bob!
And Bob, went on lunch and had a couple margaritas at Tex-Mex, and he forgot. I think it's literally as simple as that, because that's the only reason we know about it. Is because people were getting drops in this footage. This footage, the NDA on it lifted at like what 11 a.m.
11.
So it's not like the NDA lifted on September 8th. They wanted this information to get out today. They wanted this to happen, but there's no way that they wanted Taken King subclasses to get out today. I give that 0% chance. So yeah,
I feel like they would have hyped it up a little bit more too if that was the case.
Damn it, Bob.
It's the thing, man. I'm excited. I want to see all the perks, I'm excited to unlock them. That's one thing. That better not be spoiled. I don't know if these people were able to get footage of the skill trees or whatever.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I do not want that to be spoiled. I'm fine with them being in there. That's the thing. I'm fine with the end reward. I don't want to know anything about the quest, and I don't want to know anything about their secondary skill tree or any of their skill trees. I want to be able to go in there that first night, work my ass off, unlock that, and then be happy with either the first skill tree or the second one and go through it and be one of the first people to really indulge in that. But I'm really excited because I'm impressed with Arcstrider. Gunslinger's more of the same. It was changed up a little bit, but Hunters were missing that support, and I think there's little to none of a chance that these don't boost your damage in PvE. I really think that this is going to be like a necessity in the raid. So,
I know this is not our topic, but can I just talk for a second on that? People talking bad about Hunters and everything. It is. I don't know if it's rumored or if it's confirmed, but didn't we hear that the Hunter in his second class has an ability where if they get kills with Golden Gun, it drops enough orbs to charge everybody's super to full?
Yeah. I'm the one who told you that. Yeah, if you get all 3 if you kill, I think it's 2 majors. It might be 3. 3 majors with the Golden Gun, you can... Or yeah, it is 2 majors. If you kill 2 majors with the second tree Golden Gun, you produce 8 orbs, which is enough to fill any other super of any other class.
So to me, that makes Night Stalker Hunters probably one of the best classes to have in the raid.
Yeah.
In that case, because they have the best single orb output. So
yeah.
I just want to comment on that because I've been reading a lot of stuff on Reddit, like people just basically pooping all over the Hunter, and it's like, yeah, give them a chance. We don't even know what the raid's going to be like yet. For all we know, there's going to be a boss sitting up on a shelf somewhere, and he's going to be flanked by 2 yellow enemies, and then the Hunter's going to fire off his Golden Gun and give everybody orbs to kill the boss. For all we know, the Hunter's going to be the go-to.
So it'll be like Crota in the doors, where you wait till you get your super to do the other team's supers.
Yeah, and it'll be Golden Gun going out there. Yeah, man.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm excited. As a hunter main, Sentinel was looking hella nice, and now as soon as I found out these were coming back for sure, I was like, oh no, screw Sentinel. I don't need that in my life right now. I'm fine with this. So I'll be a Titan, I'll be a Warlock eventually, but hunters, my babies, they are going to remain my babies. So I'm pretty excited, man.
Which I'm good with, because like I didn't hear anybody, like even you, up until we found this out, say I'm gonna main a hunter starting Destiny 2. Like
I said I'm pretty sure I am, but if it comes down to it for Worlds First, I'll sacrifice that.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Like if they didn't have a support class, because even with Golden Gun, that's not truly a support class. Even with the orb generation, if that happens.
Yeah, that's not huge for a raid environment. So,
yeah, so
but
like
I'm glad I don't have to do that, right?
Yeah.
So
no, and then plus it'll balance out the team. So like, you don't need